Hello, today we're going to talk about the revision of Slice of Heaven Pizzeria's website out of Enon, Ohio. First things I would like to talk about is some of the aesthetics. As you can see here, right off the bat that hit me was some of the colors. Even though they seem to go with the color scheme of their brand, if you notice some of the greens have different shades of green through them, that needs to be more consistent on the same shade of green, preferably the one that's in their logo here. Another thing that jumped out at me right off the bat was in the header here. I would eliminate this text and actually move their logo here up into the header. I think that would give it a lot better professional look. I would move these navigational buttons below the logo here at the bottom of the header. I would move the order here buttons and the get Android app buttons up here. The order here I'd actually put into the navigation buttons. The get Android app I would probably put up here at the top top of the right side of the header, as well as the Facebook logo. I'm not really sure what this music track's down here for. It's on every one of the pages, as you can see, but I think it's not necessary. I think it's just something that's going to actually slow the performance down of the website. The next thing I would do is I would remove this text out of the middle here. I'm actually going to talk about that here in a minute, but I would put that into a navigational button up here for specials. I would move the map and make it smaller and move it down here to the bottom of the footer. I would make this text here a little smaller and a little more organized, and then put as well as the store hours down here. As you can see here at the home, on the home button, they have store hours under the home button, and that just doesn't make much sense. That to me seems a little confusing, and it could just work here. Here in the middle, I would also add a lot more pictures of their product. I didn't see really pictures of their product anywhere throughout this website. So other than just seeing the word pizzeria here and a slice of pizza animated here on here, I wouldn't know what their product really is, or what it looks like, or how good it is. So I wouldn't really know if I'd want one. So we would definitely need to get some pictures of their product on here to make it a little more pleasing. I think it would just give it a better look. Other than that, it follows the flow, the theme pretty well throughout all the pages, as you can see. Same with the footers, headers, they keep them consistent. One thing I noticed here on the text, or on the home page especially, is there's several different fonts on their text, and I think we could fix that up a little better and make it a little nicer and neater. Next thing I noticed is the website itself is not responsive. If you shrink it down, you can see you lose a lot of the content on the website. Everything is going mobile today. There are hundreds and hundreds of different devices that people use now, with all different screen sizes. That's the advantage of being responsive, is that by using a little bit of CSS queries, you can actually make all your images and your text keep its quality while it's getting shrunk down to all the different sizes of screens. People are using smartwatches, smartphones, tablets, and all these have different size screens. And you don't want them to lose the content of your website, especially one that's been well designed. You want to make sure they're seeing everything they need to see. So the importance of responsive web design is a must nowadays, and we would definitely need to make it responsive. I would definitely, like I said, as I mentioned before, for content, I would definitely make sure we get some product, putting the brand out there a little more, showing what people's product, what it is. Another thing with the content is keeping this updated, especially if we put your special button or your deals button up here in navigation. You want to make sure that somebody's staying on top of that and keeping that updated regularly, as well as pricing and all that. That makes a huge difference in what customers feel about you and your website if you keep it updated, and it's very important. Next, some of the things I would use to improve the usability, for one, is definitely on this navigation. Eliminate the store hours, this editor. I'm not even sure what that's for. It asks for a password when you click on it. It's just confusing to the user, not needed. The suggestions button, you could actually put a comments tab in either at the bottom of the footer here or up here at the header. and that would be suffice. We don't need to actually have the whole page going to suggestions. That's just slowing down the performance of your web page. I would actually move this Our Story button next to the Home button. It kind of just helps with the flow better, I think. People come to your home page and they want to read about you. They go to the story. That'd be right there next to it. And then they can move on to your menu and your deals page. The menu button we might be able to eliminate altogether. Since you have the order here, they can place the orders online. This already has all your menu items on it as well as pricing. So I really don't see a need for the menu button, but it's something that's something we could leave there if you feel comfortable with it. But I think it would just help to eliminate and just help performance. Some other, let's see, usability issues I had here was like Our Story you have here, and then you got Our Staff, which all it is pictures. I think we could actually include the pictures as in the background of Our Story somewhere and eliminate that whole extra tab there. Again, just would help with performance and be less confusing to your customers. I have that famous saying of less is more, and I believe keeping things simple makes it a lot better experience for the user. The next thing you'd want to do after we would get all these things corrected is use a content management system. WordPress is one of the biggest and one of the best out there. It's used by 59% of web pages out there, and it's a great content management system. What that does is allows a person that doesn't have a lot of knowledge of coding and everything to use a database using PHP to edit and add content and whatnot to their web pages without having to be an expert at coding. The coding's already done. You're just literally clicking a button, and boom, there it is. It's on your web page. It also allows for to make editing a lot easier and keeping things like your deals and your specials up to date a lot quicker and a lot faster. Well, that wraps this up, and I hope you enjoy and hope you like our recommendations, and I look forward to working with it.